Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I'd like to give you an interesting overview of something that took place in my early 20s. Back then, I was very interested in finding out about martial arts. I started with karate, progressed to judo, and then a friend introduced me to kung fu. The reason I liked kung fu the best was because it was less formal than the others. There were no gis, there are no belts, and there's no sparring. In fact, kung fu is more of a discipline, more of an art than a sport. What I learned in kung fu has carried me through to this day. In fact, I do many of the stretches and exercises I learned back then. For example, this is going to work. How do I?
Point like this.
Yeah, here. It's supposed to work. Okay, go to the next slide. Sorry. Whoops. Okay. Whoa. What's going on? Okay, palm pushes. This is what I'd like everyone to do is put your hands out in front, bring your hands up 90 degrees, and then what you do is, even though it's called palm pushes, you really pull your hand back. And what you'll notice is when you do this, after a very short period of time, that the forearm will get very sore. Well, if you do this enough, and do it over and over every day, for instance, as I do, then after a while, what happens is your forearm gets really strong. And the idea is that in kung fu, that the forearm is becomes like a club. So when you strike somebody, right, at a specific point, then you've got some power behind it. So it's not just muscle; it's the whole thing is tied together. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, next one. Okay, I had two senseis, or teachers. The first one was Butch Vos. Butch had a very large backyard that he used as his training studio. We did a lot of things there, including strength training, and one of the exercises that we did to gather strength. Next one, please. Sorry, the clicker's not working. Is something called bunny hops. And bunny hops are very interesting. We would take a long steel pole, and we'd stand, and then we'd jump forward, crouch down, and then jump up and step to the next, and jump forward again. So we're holding this bar, jumping, and going around the yard until we were back to where we started, all the while keeping the bar horizontal. It was very important. Now, it was grueling, but it was a lot of fun. One thing is interesting, though, is that on a Monday night 2-hour workout, we'd feel fine afterwards. Tuesday, we were fine. Wednesday morning, we wake up sore. We called that Kung Flu. There's a lot of interesting things that go on in Kung Fu, and one of those is, next one, please, is this is my second teacher. It's James Wing Wu. He was the master there. He actually taught Butch what he knew. He had a concrete floor in his garage that he highly waxed. And one thing he told us about the waxed floor is that, see, we wore cotton kung fu slippers. And he said that you only fall once. And I fell once, and so what he told me was true. And the way you hold yourself on this waxed floor is you have to anchor your foot. The foot that's on the ground, you have to anchor it. And the way you do that is you actually curl your toes, and as if you're gripping the earth. And it sounds weird, but like if I were to curl my toes and grip the earth, I could throw a snap heel kick, and my foot would stay anchored. And to prove how that worked for us, he had a chin-up bar in the studio, and so we would go over to it. Now normally if you pull down on the chin-up bar, which way does your body go? Up, right? Well, we would grip the bar and then anchor our feet, and we would pull on the bar and actually bend the bar down. It sounds unreal, but it really did happen. You grab on the bar, you anchor it, and you pull it down. I can't do this, I can't bend it, but it literally would bend down. Next one. this is a slideshow.
I am sorry. I can take you to her. But first, I must apologize. Apologize for what? For this.
Okay, now that's a little bit choreographed, but that really is Kung Fu. A lot of the moves that you see just there, they're all very fluid and they all kind of flow together. But each of those moves, one after another, is something that somebody would actually learn and then put together. Next. Yes, Kung Fu Panda really is doing martial arts Kung Fu moves. In case you've never seen the movie, not that I'm going to go see it anytime soon, but I thought that was interesting. One of the things that we did at the with Master James Wing Woo is we did some a few basic things, and one of those was something called kindergarten. Kindergarten was basically a planned walk back and forth and doing specific punches. So some of the punches we did were 6 different punches. One of them was the flat punch. And then we did vertical punch. And then uppercut. And we do this, we do one of these punches an entire lap. Then we did inward roundhouse, an outward roundhouse, and my favorite, chopping hammer fist. If you can imagine somebody's head right there. The next thing that we did was something, we worked with weapons. And there was 2 ways of doing this. We could either work with a bar or a string and create a fan on either side. All told, next one. Oh, and this is something also, sharp pointy weapons. He would hold one of these weapons behind our back. And when we throw a snap heel kick, you're not supposed to move backwards. So if you did, you definitely would remember very, very quickly. All told, it was a lot of fun and very gratifying. Mr. Toastmaster.